So I'd like to do a bit of a talk about, I'm just going to go to the workbook.
Yeah.
This one? Yes, excellent. Okay. So I wanted to do a bit of a talk about how to create a bar chart with a line plot. So I don't know if you guys have heard of box plots. They're like one of my favorite visualizations because you can see the distribution of values. But I one day was just playing around with Tableau and I think I invented a chart. I don't know, I think I just did, because I don't know anybody else who's named it, so I've named it the line plot, so please make it a thing, people. So what it is I've got a bar chart on the side here, and this is something that I like to do when I'm seeing transactional data like this. I'm just like, okay, for a given dimension, who's making the most money? That's, who's making the most money? California is making the most money, right? And then from there, I'm like, okay, you might be making a lot in sales, but are you actually making us money? What does your profit look like? So I want to look at the profit ratio for California. And then I'm like, okay, well, that might be the profit ratio as an aggregate, but I want to go one step lower, and I want to see the distribution of values of these particular products that make up the aggregate. So this is very much a reflection of the way that I think. I think sales, do we actually make money, and what are the things that are, from a very technical perspective, rolling up in order to tell me how should I run my business better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you guys can make the line plot. Okay, so exit presentation mode, and I'm going to go into a new sheet. Okay, guys, you got tomatoes. If I do not so good, throw them at me. Okay, so first thing we'll do, we'll state, and we'll plot that onto rows. Thank you so much, you're doing great. And then from here, sales, let's go sales. We'll plot that on there. Boom, bar chart. All right. And then at this point, let's go for profit margin, profit ratio. Okay. Ooh, I'm going crazy. Let's move this over a little bit. All right, and then we're going to do the cleanup. So here, keep that as a bar so it doesn't move around, and make this. You know, very often you'll see a circle, and then let's put a. Let's do this first, and then I'm going to duplicate. What I'm doing right now is I'm holding now the control key. Put that there. And then let's pull product into that particular aggregation, that particular measure. Put that there. Change that into circle. Now, can you guys see this? Is it? I got it at entire view maybe? Let's do that. You guys see how I have one dot here and I have many dots here because I put that onto detail. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to dual axis. So a lot of people like to keep them as circles, but I like changing them into Gantt bars and like making them really small. And then from here, I'm going to change this color into an orange so it'll stand out a bit more. This is really bothering me. How do I get out of that view? Oh, okay, see? So we can see that starting to happen. And then let's get out of that view real quick. Now this doesn't really mean much to me because who can really understand what's going on when there's no sort? So through the power of, very similar to cooking shows where they do stuff ahead of time, I've already built a parameter ahead of time. One of those. Where's my parameter here? So I'm sorting by a couple of measures that I've already pre-built. So let's show parameter control here. Ooh, I'm gonna get rid of this. Thank you so much. Okay. Can anybody see where it went? Behind me? Oh, thank you. Obviously not a really good Mac user. Okay. Then from here, so I'm going to sort by sales. That's what's going on here. Oh, sorry. Forgot the most important thing. Synchronize my axes. Let's put this, push the marks to the back. So we got sorted by sales, and then we can sort by profit margin. Boom! See how the data is being dispersed. So, you know, I could have easily put this profit margin, profit ratio onto color, and I would have been able to see that. But then I love being able to see how everything is sorted, perhaps an OCD of mine, but also to see the distributed value. So to me, I'm like, okay, these guys aren't making that much money as a sales perspective, but in terms of managing their product portfolio, they're really tight in terms of keeping their profitability. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good, right? That means we have to think about how we improve the top line sales. Fine. Now, if we sort the other way, sales, I'm like, these guys doing great, third from the top. But what is going on here? You're just giving product away, right? So to me, I'd be like, there is something going on here because your discounting strategy is way too severe. So I'm like, okay, how do we make this actionable? What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put this into color so I can talk to the oh, sorry. Really quick. So I can talk to the category manager and be like, what is going on here? And I'm like, it's going to be the category manager for office supplies that I got to talk to in Texas and wherever the state is, Illinois. And so that is the line plot.